Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. CitizenCon revealed a ton of new features coming to Star Citizen over the next 12 months, some a lot sooner than others. Today I want to talk about what's coming for the rest of the year, so I want to talk about what we can expect for the Alpha 3.21.x cycle, the Intergalactic Aerospace 2953 Expo, and Alpha 3.22, which appears to be the end of Q4 patch. So, Alpha 3.21, that's currently in our hands, but there are going to be some X patches coming along with it. So, as part of the cycle, we're getting some features we know about ship trespass. This will enable you to deal with people that are stowaways or on your ship without permission any way you see fit without getting a criminal rating. It also will mean that you do not see in the comms channel if there's someone else in your ship that shouldn't be there, only people in your party. It's a sensible system as well. If you kick someone while they're in your party, while they're on your ship, that you can't just brutally murderize them. They still have permission to be on your ship until they leave. And once they try to get back on, they will no longer have permission. People that are stowing away will be warned that they are currently trespassing, but they can continue to do that if they wish. There's some vehicles we know about. The Crusader Spirit C1 is coming. We've got the A1 in-game already. The C1 is the more multi-role variant. It's got cargo space. Sort of a direct competitor with the Cutlass Black and Freelancer. Really looking forward to that ship. The Tumbrel Storm. This is a light assault tank that Cloud Imperium have been constantly sort of teasing and sneak peeking over the last few weeks. It's a one-person little tank that's going to be great for blitzing and attacking and being armoured, rushing enemy positions. Really cool tank there. There are two massive things coming still as part of this cycle. The preview channel is one of them, and the preview channel will have things in it like the replication layer, which is the next major step towards server meshing and is incredibly close to being server meshing. As I understand it, it should significantly improve redundancy and server performance, allow for multiple servers to be connected to a single shard, which is effectively static server meshing. This preview channel basically mirrors the live build of the game and then tests a load of features out before then phasing them into the build if possible, or when sensible, but obviously sometimes it's just going to be for testing. Something that is coming into our hands on the 31st of October as part of that preview channel preview build is the Pyro Playground. In a similar style to the way they do PTU waves, some people are going to get access on the 31st based on if they're concierge, if they're very active testers, and there's going to be a bit of a lottery with if you've bought the digital goodies pack from CitizenCon, then you'll get access to the Pyro build of the game, which will have you spawning in Pyro in Checkmate Station, and then loads of stuff to do there. I'm not sure if this is going to be combined with the replication layer being tested at the same time. I don't think there's any jump points either. You are just spawning in Pyro and there's a load of new content there. Don't worry if you're not in the first wave or anything like that. It's going to be pretty buggy. I assume it's going to be very similar to an Evocati build where there's going to be lots of stress testing and lots of bugs and stuff like that to solve. And then as they get it a bit more stable, it will go out to more and more people. Expect it to be in your hands by the end of November. I would expect to everyone, if not before. Vehicle tractor beams and the Argo SRV, which is the towboat, the tractor beam ship. So vehicle tractor beams, they're part of 3.21's branch, and they will be turning up in game at some point, enabling us to do a load more with cargo, but also with utility with mining and salvage. You're not going to be able to use your hand tractor beams to move everything. The larger boxes, that is going to be done by vehicle tractor beams. You may even be able to move some ships with vehicle tractor beams and vehicles and that sort of stuff, or at least aid them in their movement between areas. Something else that's coming by the end of November, or it's going to start towards the end of November, is the 2953 Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. So this is a massive ship sale and celebration, but also a expo that players can visit and then pretty much try every flyable ship in-game for free. Also expect a free fly around this period too, so you don't need to buy Star Citizen to try it out for a couple of weeks. Pretty much every ship goes on sale, and loads of new ones as well get concepted, get straight to flyable. It is the biggest event financially for CIG every year and Star Citizen. CIG said that 12 ships are still to be released between now and the end of 2023. And I believe this is released to be flyable rather than just go on sale or anything. We know that there's obviously the SRV, the Storm, and the C1, so that's 3. There are 9 more that other than those that should be in our hands by the end of the year. It's likely that most of them are going to be variants of something, and even if it's a new thing, it'll be like a new thing and 3 variants of it, or 2 variants of it. We know that there is a Cutter Expedition in the works, which I suspect, knowing the Scout's just gone live, Expedition probably going to be at the IAE. The Santok Yai, that Xi'an medium fighter, that's been teased loads. We know that's very close to completion. That's probably one of those as well. So that leaves, what, another 7? Something else that you can expect to see at the IAE is the large RSI miner. Assumedly, that will go on concept sale here. So this was a ship they talked about last year and said, let's vote on what manufacturer we're going to make a large mining ship that's going to be in between the size of the Mole and the Orion. That's quite a big sort of scale. Obviously, it's probably going to be closer to the Mole in size just because the Orion is so massive. But yeah, there's going to be loads of straight-to-flyable ships and potentially new concepts as well. It's quite possible CIG will be having more stuff to do at the event this year. Obviously, things like Fleet Week, they have the fleet flying around and you can visit the Javelin and stuff like that. But you can expect to know more about the IAE in the coming weeks and when it's going to start towards the end of November, sort of like 20th to 21st normally, I think, sort of around then. Star Citizen Alpha 3.22 was mentioned a few times at CitizenCon, as was features that were coming by the end of Q4 of this year. So it appears that Star Citizen Alpha 3.22 is the planned Q4 patch, with a targeted release to live by mid to end December. Sometimes that rolls over into January. We'll have to sort of wait and see. From what I can tell, there will probably be no wipe for the patch, though CIG are trying to make improvements to their graph database or entirely replace it. Obviously, they've got loads of stuff happening with the replication layer and server meshing. If something is ready for them to put out, or they need to wipe the databases, they will. So we don't know for sure. It's quite possible there will be no need for a wipe. Even if there is a need for a partial wipe or something, a lot of stuff will be carried over most likely because Cloud Imperium have got good ways of carrying over Alpha UEC and ship ledgers. What did CIG say at CitizenCon would be ready by the end of the year and probably in that 3.22 patch then? So, new character customization stuff, new heads, and lots of new hairstyles for characters, which are going to make a lot of people happier, and there's lots of cool new hair tech in Star Citizen. There's going to be lots of more interesting looking NPCs and costumes and outfits for them. Awesome to see that character customization stuff, and there's a load more coming in the future. There are various FPS weapon improvements, including better sights, better feels for the weapons, they're reworking force reactions, they're improving various animations for characters. You'll have a hopefully markedly better FPS sort of experience in Star Citizen with 3.22. There are a variety of new settlements in Stanton. We know there are quite a few that they're going to be putting in the game. Ones that they showed off more recently are an oil rig at assumedly Hurston. That's looks pretty cool. If you played Rust, it looks a bit like something you might find in Rust. But yeah, this cool oil rig that's very, very dilapidated and rusted and sort of scavenged back to health. There's some pretty cool microtech ones, from frosty ones to forest biome ones, farms, sort of more fort-like ones. If it's rusty and scrappy, you'll probably see it on Hurston. If it's a bit more sort of like living in the woods or the wilderness, obviously made with derelict ships a lot of the time and stuff like that as well, then it's likely to be on microtech. But there'll be a load of missions associated with these, and they're adding the Duster faction of NPCs. These will populate some settlements and missions. I believe Dusters were built off the Sand Nomads that we saw many moons ago in the Star Citizen Homestead demo, where they had the Sandworm on Layer 3, but also the Sand Nomads as the enemies there. So yeah, villages, outposts, settlements, new missions associated with them. I'd say that it's very likely that you can expect other new missions as well with this release. They like to put out missions, and there's a lot they are working on at the moment. There's various StarEngine updates. We saw how pretty the StarEngine stuff was. There's water simulation stuff, there's lighting stuff. Expect them to put a few new things in there too. Now, there are a ton of other things they showed at CitizenCon, and a ton of other things that are on the roadmap that are very possible, very likely, they at least have potential of going in that 3.22 patch. Freight elevators, that's one of them. We know that they were able to demo them working in-game. Basically, a freight elevator is part of a persistent hangar, and you'll go to your hangar, and you'll go to a terminal at the hangar, and you'll interact with it, and it will spawn cargo from the landing zone that you can then put in your ship. It'll bring it up, and bam, you can put that in your ship. Or if you want to put the cargo from your ship at the landing zone that you're at, you'll take it from your ship, put put it on the freight elevator, and then you interact with the terminal, and it will despawn it effectively and put it into storage there. You can also use this to bring up vehicles, as long as they're small enough, and then you can drive the vehicle straight into your ship, which means you don't need vehicle and ship spawning. This actually solves that. And you'll notice that I mentioned there persistent hangars, which we know Cloud Imperium, at least at this stage, will have them partially instantized. So you'll go into it, and then once you've actually entered your hangar, it'll sort of seal it off and effectively move it somewhere else until you're ready to leave it. But at the very least, freight elevators looked ready to go. There's going to be expanded cargo missions at some point, and obviously they've got the SRV coming in. If they're putting in freight elevators, it makes sense that they'll have expanded cargo missions. They did show off at CitizenCon. There was a load of new cargo types, and they wanted cargo hauling missions in the game, so stands to reason that it's quite possible that it would turn up here. They've previously showed the barge heist mission, where you'd attack a barge sort of floating around Crusader, and there's going to be Ninetales there, there'll be Crusader security there, there'll potentially be other players there, and you'll be stealing cargo out of large shipping containers, and you'll want to find out what's in the container and get codes for it, and there's lots of valuable stuff there, but obviously stuff that's not particularly valuable as well, and it's going to be a nice chaotic sort of mission where you loot to lots and then get out of there. There's engineering experimental mode that they talked about. So the engineering gameplay that they showed at CitizenCon, enabling you to put out fires and repair components and sort of replace them and that sort of stuff. They want to bring that to an experimental mode soon. Again, that experimental mode could very well be in 3.22. There's a load of other engine improvements and Vulkan integration, stuff like that they might put in, and we saw the engine demo. Lots of that stuff could turn up. Some UI updates are very likely going to be making it into the game. I don't think we're going to be seeing the new star map or anything like that yet, but I hope. I live in hope. Server meshing testing in the preview channel is a strong possibility as well. As soon as they've got the replication layer working, I suspect they will move on to server meshing testing immediately, as it is literally just plugging in more servers. I mean, I say literally, there's probably a little bit of coding to also be done there, but we saw server meshing working as a technology at CitizenCon, even if it was at a small closed scale. But obviously server meshing could be avocado testing or something like that by the end of the year. Space cows. It's possible they're putting animals. We saw them in the demo. Could they be in Alpha 3.22? I mean, it's possible. We saw them next to the settlements and the farms and that sort of stuff, so it's possible they'll put them in. I mean, I don't suspect they're too complex to have them sort of lumbering about near a settlement, because they're just NPCs on all fours, right? I think Bounty Hunting version 2 is also getting closer, and that was what I originally expected to see at the end of the year for CitizenCon. I still think that's a possibility, because we did see them having restraints for arms and legs. We just didn't see the hover trolleys for putting sort of bodies in, but which I thought was strange, seeing that we'd previously seen them, but we didn't see them at CitizenCon. Interesting. But I'm sort of interested to know what you think. That's what I think we're going to be seeing by the end of the year and with Alpha 3.22. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think we're going to see at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? Do you think 3.22 is going to be the end of the year patch, or do you think they're just going to expand out 3.21.x or something? Are you expecting to see sort of server meshing in testing by the end of the year on that preview channel? Are you looking forward to playing around in Pyro on the preview channel? Do you think there's any features that are likely going to turn up in the next couple of months that I have missed here? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. What the hell are you? It's nordvpn.com/BoredGamer, enabling you to minimize your presence on the internet, almost like a cloaking device. It also allows you to hunt out the best TV and movies and shopping deals by changing your region. It prevents big internet from gathering and using your personal data. There's even a data breach scanner and meshnet for your own remote private network included. When Zin asked, what's the Predator movie got to do with NordVPN or CitizenCon or Star Citizen, I said, what's any of our NordVPN ads got to do with anything? Grab yourself NordVPN in the links below for a seamless, secure internet experience. every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For October 2023, we are giving away a Constellation Phoenix. This luxury multi-crew ship can be used as a mission runner, an explorer, a base of operations, and more. It comes with a luxury P-72 Archimedes snub, as well as the Lynx rover, allowing you to have on and off planet excursions. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. This is the bit of the video where I appeal to you to try and join the channel memberships and give us money. We have a load of you that are Patreons or have become YouTube channel members with the join button under my videos, and that goes a huge way in helping the channel and enabling us to make daily Star Citizen news entertainment. But there are a load of other ways to help us: liking, commenting, sharing these videos. That helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching to the end. Please get involved in the comments section, and I hope you have a great October.